what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a giant version of a diamond sword. By the way, if you have any more diamond related needs, feel free to check out the card system and the link below in the description for my diamond tutorial playlist. Now that all of that's out of the way though, we can get making this thing. So if you want to make it, here's what you're going to need. You will need some black stained clay. Also, grab yourself some brown stained clay, then grab yourself some black wool, some cyan wool, and finally grab yourself some light blue wool. And once you have each one of those materials right there, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'll be making it right here, you're going to want to kick off your sword with a single black wool on the floor. Once you have your single black wool, from this black wool, do 6 up left diagonals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Once you have your 6 up left diagonals, you then, from the 6th up left diagonal, want to do 3 up right diagonals. So that's 1, 2, 3. Then go right of that 3rd upright diagonal with your black stained clay by 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then take out your black wool and go right by 1. Then do 3 bottom right diagonals. So that's 1, 2, 3. Then from this 3rd bottom right diagonal, just do bottom left diagonals until you eventually connect all the way back to where you first started. So you want to have a diamond shape, like this. Once you have your diamond shape, this is what you want to do next. Come up to the top of your diamond shape. Where we have this most left black stained clay here, go up on top of it with this sequence of blocks. Do 2 black stained clay going up. 1, 2, then 1 brown, then 3 black stained clay, 1, 2, 3, then 1 brown, 3 more black, 1, 2, 3, 1 brown, then finally 3 black, so that's 1, 2, 3. So you want to end up with a row that should look a little bit like this. Once you've got that taken care of on the left hand side, you now want to do the exact same thing on the right hand side now. So on top of this right hand black stained clay, do the exact same sequence of blocks going up. So that will be 2 black stained clay, 1, 2, then 1 brown, 3 black, 1, 2, 3, 1 brown, 3 black, 1, 2, 3, 1 brown, and then 3 black. So that's 1, 2, 3. So you want to end up with something that should look a little bit like this. Nice and simple. Once you've got those 2 rows, this is what you want to do next. So now on top of this second block, you want to do this sequence of blocks going up. Do 1 black, then 3 brown, 1, 2, 3, 1 black, 3 brown, 1, 2, 3, 1 black, 3 brown, 1, 2, 3, and then finish off the row with 2 black to give you this row right here. Nice and simple. And once you've got that taken care of on top of this second block here, you want to do the exact same thing on this 4th block. So you do really just want to do the exact same thing, and it's close enough that you can just copy off of it. So just look ever so slightly to your left and copy the row that you just made. It should be nice and easy for you. Literally just divert one eye to the left and copy exactly what you've done. Then for this center row here, just place a single black stained clay all the way up at the top of the row, and then just place brown clay everywhere else. So you want to end up with something that should look exactly like this. Very nice, very easy. Once you've got that taken care of, you now want to come all the way up to the top of the grip that you've just made, and on top of this row of 5 black stained clay, stack a row of 5 black wool, like so. Then going left of this most left-hand black wool right here, just go left of it by 1, just kind of like extend it out to the left by 1, like so. Then from that extended block, do an up left diagonal. Then go left by 2, 1, 2. Then do 3 up left diagonals, so that's 1, 2, 3. Then do 3 bottom right diagonals, 1, 2, 3. Then do 5 up left diagonals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 4 up right diagonals, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do 2 bottom right diagonals, so that's 1, 2. Then do 2 up right diagonals, so that's 1, 2. Then 2 bottom right diagonals, 1, 2. Then do an upright diagonal. Then do a bottom right diagonal. Go right of that single diagonal by 1. Then do 3 bottom right diagonals, so that's 1, 2, 3. Go to the right of that third bottom right diagonal by 2. 1, 2. Then do 3 up right diagonals, so that's 1, 2, 3. Then go to the right of that third upright diagonal by 1. Then do an upright diagonal, followed by a bottom right diagonal. Then do 2 up right diagonals, so that's 1 and 2. Then do 2 bottom right diagonals, so that's 1 and 2. Then do 2 up right diagonals, so that's 1, 2. Then do 4 bottom right diagonals, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do 5 bottom left diagonals, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 3 up left diagonals, 1, 2, 3. Then 3 bottom left diagonals, so that's 1, 2, 3. Connect everything together by going left of this third bottom left diagonal by 2, 1, 2, and then doing a single bottom left diagonal. So you want to end up with a shape that should look a little bit like this. And I believe that this part of the sword is called a guard, however I've been wrong many times before, but that's what I think it is. It's the bit that separates the handle and the blade. Once you've got that very complicated shape taken care of, all we have to do now is the outline of the blade, and then we can mess about with the little individual bits of detail. So once you've reached this point right here, this is what you want to do next. So we'll start with the left hand side of the blade first of all. So the blade actually starts right here, where we kind of have like this single black diagonal, kind of close to the center of the top of the guard. I'm sure that you guys will be able to find it. On top of this block, do a row of 70-ish black wool going up on top of it. The length of the blade may vary, kinda depends on what you want, but 70 is a pretty decent number. So on top of this block, 70. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that should be 70. But it doesn't really have to be exact. You won't really notice if you miss 3 off, add 3 on, you guys know what I mean, it's not really that important, but as long as you're happy with the length of it, that's kind of your deal. So once you've got your long row of 70 or whatever number, from this 70th block, do 6 upright diagonals, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then from the 6th upright diagonal, do 6 bottom right diagonals. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. What you now want to do is take the 6th bottom right diagonal and connect it all the way back down to the top of the guard. And if everything's went to plan, you should connect to the equivalent block on the right hand side there. Oh, I accidentally placed a block underneath it. Yep, that's right. I thought I went wrong there for a second, but no, it's the right block. I just accidentally placed something. And the shape that you want to end up with, it's kind of difficult to get without having to zoom out for 50 miles, but that is the shape that you want to end up with, a nice point. Once you've got the outline of the blade taken care of, I guess that we'll take care of the details on the bottom bit here. Is that the pommel and the guard? And then we'll move up to the blade since we're down here. So once you've got the outline of the blade taken care of, this is what we're going to do next. So the detail that surrounds this is really simple. So I'm actually going to do it whilst I talk about it. What you basically want to do for the guard, and again, I might get this wrong, but I think it's called the pommel, the bottom of the sword. All you have to do is kind of just outline the shape that you've made with cyan. So you kind of just like want to place cyan all the way around the inside of these particular shapes, like that, and then you just want to fill them in with light blue wool. And I'm already one step ahead of you, I've already done it because it is very simple, and you want to do the exact same thing for the guard as well. So coming up to the guard here, you kind of, with your cyan wool, you just want to kind of like trace along the black wool that we have, and then you just want to place light blue wool everywhere else in between. You could just use light blue if you wanted to, you could just use cyan, you could use diamond. The choice is really yours. It's just that I prefer light blue wool for like large pixel arts like this instead of diamond. Just because diamond, you've kind of got like that separation between the blocks, and I don't like the look of it personally, but hey, that's just me. You might want to make the whole thing out of diamond, and that's your prerogative. You do whatever you feel as though you have to do, but as you can see, we're kind of just like adding a nice little cyan outline or inline to the black outline, and then we're just adding in our blue wool, our light blue wool, and then we can move on to the next bit, which is the blade, which is ever so slightly more complicated than this, I dare say, but it's not hard whatsoever. So let me just add this in. We've got the right hand side to do now, and then we can focus on the blade, which like I said, it's not equally as easy, but it is very simple. There's not too much that needs doing, so we're just going to fill in the right hand side here with our light blue wool, and then we can get cracking. So for the bottom half of the sword so far, this is what you want to end up with, looking pretty nice already. Once you've got the handle and all of that fun stuff taken care of, this is what you want to do next. And of course, pause this if necessary, if you're still working on that, of course. So what you now want to do is come to the bottom center of the blade, which is this black wool right here. On top of this black wool, you want to kind of like bisect the blade by doing a row of cyan that kind of like spans the bottom to the top of it, and it just wants to cut it straight down the middle. Pun intended. It just wants to cut it straight down the middle like this. You also want to do a very similar thing on the left and right hand sides of the blade as well. So on the left and right hand sides of the blade, you kind of want to add in cyan wool just to kind of like give it an outline. So it wants to look a little bit like this. Let me show you with one side first of all. Those don't need to connect. One set of these does connect, which is this bottom part, but you know what, I'll get this other side taken care of, and then we'll take a look at it, because it's quite simple, but I do want to show you guys what you have to do. And once you've added in these few long rows of cyan, you guys don't really have to see the bottom part, I'm sure you get the idea, but when you get to the top, which takes a little while, once you get to the top, you want to have something which should look a little bit like this. So as you can see, some cyan wools connect to each other and some don't, and there's a good reason for that. So you want to add in all of the cyan, as you can see, at the point of the blade here, to your sword, and once you've done that, you now want to do this. So can you guys see these cyan blocks, how they kind of like connect together? Well, from these blocks that kind of like connect, this one right here for instance, you just want to do bottom right diagonals from that connecting cyan block, and you kind of want to just connect the outer parts of the blade to the center part of the blade like this, to kind of like form a finer point. And once you've added in those 2 rows of diagonals, all you have to do to completely finish your sword is just fill it in with light blue wool. There's actually nothing more to it, so I'm just going to do it myself here, and then we can take a look at it. This might actually take a little bit longer than I'd like. I'd kind of like to cut out and then show you guys the end result of it, but there isn't too many rows and it is quite simple to do. We've just got to add some vertical rows of light blue wool in here. How many more do we have to? 2 of them. Well, on this side anyway, then we've got another 4, but the sword's very simple to make. Hopefully you guys didn't run into any problems up until now. The hardest part is more than definitely the guard, the outline of the guard. Everything else is quite simple, but I tried to take you guys through that as simply as possible. So, to finish up my collection of diamond items, I figured that it'd make sense to add a big giant diamond sword to the collection. I actually made this quite a while ago, and I'm only getting to it now because last week on the channel was kind of like a diamond week. Absolutely everything diamond was made and uploaded, so I think I'll just do this, and I'm not sure when you guys will see it, but I think it'll be sometime the week after you see Diamond Week. So we've filled in the blade now. I think it's about time that we take off the UI and we can see if we can zoom out enough so that we can actually see the entire sword. So let me zoom, zoom, zoom. I think we've just about got it, and you guys see something differently than I do, so I bet you could have saw it a little while ago, but this is what you want to have in total for your giant diamond sword. It's looking pretty nice, very simple. Hopefully you guys have managed to make this no problem. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video. And do remember, if you want absolutely anything else diamond related, including a smaller in scale version of the diamond sword, feel free to check out the cards and the link below in the description of this video. See you guys.